Hello, this is I Do Damage and welcome back to the channel. In this Minecraft Dungeons video, I want to do a game review video and tell you if I think this game is worth your time and money. Let's just go ahead and jump right in, man. First thing and most important thing in any action RPG, in my opinion, is the combat. The combat needs to be fun and engaging, and that's exactly what Minecraft Dungeons does. The combat is really fun. I've played it with my kids. They enjoy it too. I enjoy it. It's all around a good time. And, you know, the combat's fun, dude. Like, I don't know if I need to say it again, but the combat is indeed fun. The most interesting part of combat is how your gear and artifacts come into play in determining your playstyle and how your character plays. So the combat, like I said, is pretty fun. There's different skills and abilities, environmental things, consumables you can pick up to heal. There's TNT you can throw to blow stuff up. It's all around just a blast to play, and in all honesty, I love it. I mean, that's probably my favorite part of the game is the combat. So, as I said, the combat is kind of determined by your gear and your artifacts, and so let's just go ahead and talk about that real briefly. When it comes to your gear, you have three slots. You have your melee weapon, your armor slot, and then your ranged weapon, which is a bow and arrow typically. But each of these have different versions. So the melee weapons obviously have like sword, hammer, daggers. They all have different, there's tons of different types, and they have different playstyles and combos and effects and everything like that. And then onto the gear slot, which is your armor. And there's only one slot for your armor, but basically it has base stats on it. So there's certain ones that give you more souls when you kill stuff. There's ones that you take less damage. I think I even saw a piece of armor that haunts enemies or something like that. There's a lot of other types of armor too, but I don't want to spoil too much, and I still need to have something to explore. So just know that there's a lot of variety there. Same with your bow and arrow. There's ones that attack really fast, and then there's ones that attack slower but do more damage, and then everywhere in between. There's quite a bit of diversity with items and their base stats. So where the randomness comes in this game is with the enchant system. So if you don't know what that is, I'm going to just explain it real briefly for you here. Each item can roll up to 3 enchant slots. Each of those enchanting slots then can roll 3 choices of an enchant, and you have to pick one of those 3. So I like that fact that you have to make that kind of that decision that we see in other games in the genre, right? So that's a little bit exciting. And then on top of that, if you want to get all 3 of your favorite affixes on one piece of gear, you have to get pretty darn lucky to get that. And pretty much so it's all in threes. That's all you need to know when it comes to enchants is the magic number is 3. Okay, so there's 3 enchant slots. Each enchant slot has 3 possibilities of what enchants can be on there. And then each enchant you can level up to level 3. So in order to level up your enchants, you have to use enchanting points that you gain through leveling. You get 1 enchanting point per level, and on top of that, the enchantments on the items, there's 2 different types. You have your generic enchant, and then you have your powerful enchants. The powerful enchants are, well, they're powerful, and on top of that, they cost more enchantment points to be able to level up. So with that in mind, I ran the math, and I think if you wanted to have all 3 gear slots with all level 3 enchants of a generic enchant, you would have to be character level 54. And then in order to do the all three enchants powerful, all level 3, I think you had to be like level 78 or something like that, or something close to 80. And since we're talking about character level, I don't know what the level cap is. I don't even think there is one. I think it just goes on and on and on as much as you want to grind. But that's pretty much your gear, your melee weapon, armor slot, ranged weapon. The next part when it comes to character is your artifacts. Your artifacts are what determine what skills you can then use in combat. There's a lot there. There's quite a variety. If I had to guess, I'd say there's maybe 20 different types of artifacts. There could be more, there could be less. That's kind of if I had to guess, that's what I would guess. You can only have 3 artifacts equipped at a time. There we go again with the magic number. But that means you can only have 3 skills that you can then use as well. And there's tons of different types. When you first start out, I think you get a fishing rod that you can pull enemies in with, and then there's like an explosive arrow type of thing. And there's cool ones way later on. Again, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's some pretty cool stuff. And if you like pet builds, there's even an option for that as well. One other thing about items, gear, and artifacts is, just so you know, certain items do not drop on lower difficulty. So what this means is if you want to see all the items in the game, you're going to have to play on Apocalypse, which is the hardest difficulty. Well, it's not all that hard. We'll talk about it next when we get to the scaling and kind of the end game, but, you know, really, I like it because it gives you that incentive to replay and go through and play on the higher difficulties and see everything there is in the game, right? So before we talk about the end game, I want to talk just real quick about the world and levels and how it all works. The story itself is very, very short. I think I beat it in about 2 hours. It's very short. I think there's like 9 story levels, 2 hidden levels, and then the city hub. So you have a total of, what is that, 12 maps. So not a lot there, but we'll talk about endgame next, and that's kind of where it comes into play. But on top of the story, you also have 3 difficulties to play through. Once you beat the story on one difficulty, you unlock the next, and then bam again. So you can really, you beat it twice, then you have all the difficulties unlocked. And remember, like I said, that you want to play on the higher difficulties if you want to see all the gear in the game, which I highly recommend you do and check out, because there's quite a bit there with item diversity and itemization. So that's, I mean, that's basically the story and world is 9 story maps and 2 hidden maps to explore. So again, no spoilers there, but good luck. Good luck finding the one secret level. It's pretty sweet. And well, we've talked about everything really except for end game. We've talked about items, world, levels, combat. Real quick, man, the end game's not super in depth, but the thing is, and it's why I started the video out with combat, is if you enjoy the combat, the end game really is endless. I mean, it's as much as you want to play for you yourself, really. As long as you're having fun, you can just keep playing. Because the way that progression works in Minecraft Dungeons is your character has 2 levels. You have your character level, which we talked about with getting enchant points. And then you also have your power. Or just for reference, I'm just going to call it power rank, okay? That's just going to be, it's basically a gear score item level type of system, which I'm personally not a huge fan of. And we'll talk about it a little bit here in Minecraft Dungeons, and then at the end I'll share my thoughts on everything. So the way it works is, as you get gear, it has a power rank tied to it, right? So basically what this ends up being is the higher power rank you are, the higher difficulties you can do, the more efficiently you can farm, and the easier mobs are to kill. Just due to scaling, and this is my experience alone, is a higher power rank item that maybe isn't one I want to use. Maybe it totally sucks, but the power rank is like, you know, 5 or 10 power ranks higher than the other piece that I'm using and enjoy using. If I swap them out, I'm actually going to get a lot stronger and can find higher level items. So it, for me personally, it forced this thing on me to where I was just constantly chasing the power rank. I didn't even really care about the items, you know. And I don't know, I didn't really like that a whole lot, but it is what it is. So that's pretty much the way that power ranks, progression, and items work. So I'm hoping at a certain point, I think I'm like, at the time of recording this video, I'm like power rank 101 or something. I'm hoping at some point there's like some sort of cap or a limit so that I can sit there and actually then just, you know, farm for items I want to use instead of just chasing that power rank to get the higher number type of deal. But until there's DLCs and really more content in the game, it's really hard to tell what direction this game's going to go. But that's pretty much all the facts for you. We'll go ahead and real quick closing thoughts on my opinion if you should spend your time and money in the game. And I think yes. I think for $20 it's a great price. I have about 24 hours in the game myself and I've enjoyed every single second of it. I've even played probably, you know, maybe 3 hours on the... I bought it for Xbox as well for my kids. And we've played it on the Xbox as well for a few hours. So I've played a lot and I plan to keep playing. I really genuinely enjoy the game and I find it fun. So you can also buy a pack for $29.99 and I think you get like 2 cosmetics and then 2 extra characters. It's, if you're into that stuff, and also you get the DLC with it. So I guess it probably would be, I mean, it's 10 extra bucks and you get the 2 DLCs that are coming. Word on the street is the DLC is going to be coming in, I think they said the next DLC is in like September or something. I don't know if that's official. I think someone saw it on the Nintendo Switch store as kind of like a leak type of deal. So I'm not sure if it's totally accurate, but I think about 2 months to wait for your DLC is kind of a long time. But, you know, anyway, I'll keep an eye on it and probably keep playing in the meantime just as a chill game. Yeah, I definitely think the game's worth your time and money, and yeah, I'm gonna end it there. The video was a little bit longer than I thought. I got to talking about itemizations and how all the progression works. I got a little bit long-winded there. I apologize for that. But know this, I do appreciate your time in watching this video, and all the other content on the channel. Let me know down in the comments, are you guys playing Minecraft Dungeons? Are you enjoying your time? Or was the trying to download and play the game on Windows 10 too annoying and you gave up, like I almost did? Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoy the video and all the other content on the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.